We're back!
Oh, God.
We're all fired up.
The off season.
We're back. I can't believe it. We survived an off season. Season 2, episode 1 of Campus Gridiron. How's it going, everybody? I'm Grant Flood from Fletcher Sports Zone, along with Lennon Lay and Drew Humphrey. And this is the end of my YouTube hiatus. Where the hell have I been the last 3 months? Feels like I haven't done it. Stanley Cup Finals ended. Well, here we are. We're getting out of that. Football season's here for college football starting this weekend. Week 1 of the NFL season is in 3 weeks. More content will be coming. Oh boy, we have made it through the off season. We got a brand new intro, and hopefully you guys are more appreciative of the graphics and whatnot. Try to make this look a little bit more professional. Try to beef it up a little bit. Let's quickly run through our topics. We have a couple of game previews for our week 0. First, we're going to be talking about Florida State and Georgia Tech, and then SMU and Nevada. We're also going to go over our season predictions, of course, for Florida, University of South Florida, and Boston College. We're just going to run through that, give our season predictions. Of course, division realignments happened, and we'll talk about that in a future episode, but today we will focus on Texas and Oklahoma, who will make the bigger impact in the SEC. We're also going to talk a little bit about the transfer portal and, of course, the things you guys want to see. Who is our early Heisman Trophy winner and national championship matchup? And also, I shall mention, link is in the description. We now have an Instagram page where we will be posting clips of our shows every week onto the Instagram page. So I have a crap ton of editing on my side, but we will make that work, and we will try to, of course, build up that, get to 500 subs here on Fletcher Sports Zone. It should be a fun season if you are a college or professional football fan. So let's get into it. First things first, the biggest matchup of week 0, I'd say. ACC matchup, Florida State versus Georgia Tech. This one's going to get interesting. Florida State is on the road. They essentially have a brand new roster. No Jordan Travis, no Trey Benson. What should we be expecting out of the Seminoles early on this season?
Well, the game's in Ireland, first of all, so it's a neutral site for everybody.
I was going to say,
it is really neutral site? Okay.
There's no really advantage there. I mean, they're coming off a loss like FSU is. Like, when you're coming off a loss 63-3, you can't expect them to not come out firing on all cylinders with just so much oomph and just trying to get back of where they started last season, where they beat your Florida Gators and just went on an absolute tear of a season, beating teams by God knows how many points, just having a great all-around season with the other side going to Georgia Tech, where, they're coming off a bowl win against the UCF. But I think Georgia Tech's also going to come out firing as they put up a really, really good fight against Georgia, losing only by 8, and really also coming out firing on all cylinders. And I think it's going to be a very, very good game.
Certainly, maybe closer than you expect, Lennon. What do you think?
I mean, do I have to comment on this game? I think no. I don't know. Florida State, they're going to be they lost a lot of talent. I think they're going to come out firing, though, because they're mad they missed the college football playoffs. And they're mad they lost 63-3. But I don't know how good they don't have Jordan Travis. They don't have Keon Coleman. They don't have Trey. They don't have any. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do. I don't really like their quarterback a lot. I think he's terrible, but we'll get into that later. But
you like
Georgia?
DJ? Wow.
I don't like him at all. But it's going to be interesting. Florida State's going to come out swinging, though. I mean, they're a good team. They got a good defense. But this game's in Ireland, so it's a neutral site. So it should be very interesting to see how this goes.
It's interesting with this whole like playing in Ireland thing they got going on because last year it was Notre Dame, and I thought originally that was a one-off, but
Yeah.
I guess if they do this every year moving forward, I think that's pretty cool and a nice way to expand the
Yeah.
game.
What
Uh,
I think Notre Dame should get Ireland week 1 every year. I mean, if we're being
I
fair,
agree.
it's the
That's what I
Irish.
thought it was last year. I thought that was like a yearly like thing moving forward. I guess not, but I don't know. It would make a lot of sense if college football did that. Heading into Florida State and Georgia Tech, I think this is going to be a very defensive game. I don't really see this being a blowout in any sense of the word. Like I said, Florida State is coming in with a brand new quarterback, a lot of new talent on that offense. So I think they're going to struggle right away. However, both these teams' defenses have primarily stayed intact. I think it's going to be a low scoring one. It's tough to pick Georgia Tech because Florida State is definitely upset getting blown out by Georgia in the Peach Bowl. They're upset. They want to come out and win this game, and I think they do. It might be a sloppy game. I think both teams get quite a bit of turnovers, but I'm going to go with Florida State winning 21-17.
I'm going to say in the same ballpark as you, but I'm going to be a little closer. I'm going to say 31-23 Noles.
I mean, I would be crazy to pick Georgia Tech, right? Like, I think that's just like crazy, but I'm going to. Georgia Tech will win by, let's see, I'm going to go 31-24 Yellow Jackets.
You're right.
Lennon, is that shirt bleeding orange into your brain? Are you hallucinating things? I mean, this is an unranked Georgia Tech team facing off against a top 10 Florida State team. Are you okay mentally? Sure, it's going to be close, but they're not going to win.
All I'm going to say is Georgia Tech played a healthy Georgia team and lost by 8. Florida State played Georgia's backups and lost 63-3. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, it's week 0. I had to disagree with you guys somehow. We can't all pick Florida State. Like, we got to be different.
Oh my goodness, we're already getting the upsets in and everything. I guess the games we talk about, I'll try to keep a record throughout the year so we could see out of the games we talk about who has the best like predictions.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to start 0-1, but I'm okay with that. You guys can clip me.
But then if you start 1-0, you're a genius.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys can clip me for better or for worse. We'll see.
We should do the underdogs. Like, remember how they do it on game day? They do the underdogs.
Oh yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on.
Moving on to, I think, another very close game, and a game that certainly isn't going to get a lot of recognition, but they're on way after Florida State and Georgia Tech. So if you did not have enough college football fix watching that game down in Ireland, maybe you want to watch the game down in Nevada later that day, because SMU and Nevada, this could be a very interesting game. SMU is kind of like Georgia Tech in a way where they didn't lose a lot of talent in the draft. A lot of their players are heading into their junior and senior years. Most of that roster stays intact. They won 6 games last year. And Nevada, they've just been kind of coasting along a little bit out in the Mountain West. I'm not sure if they switched divisions or not, but I don't know. I think this could be a very interesting matchup. What do you guys say for this one?
Well, sorry,
go ahead. No,
okay.
go ahead.
First of all, I love the EA NCAA 24 college football graphic there. This game's going to be interesting. SMU's in the ACC this year. I think they're going to have a really good year in the ACC. I don't think the ACC is that good, except for Florida State and North Carolina and Miami, maybe. SMU had a great season last year. They played really good. They did lose to Boston College in the bowl game, though.
Yeah, they did.
But I don't really think – I think SMU takes this game pretty handily, honestly. But it should be a good game. It's week 0. You never know. But my money's on SMU for this one.
I'm on Lennon's side here. SMU wins by at least 14 because Nevada has been coasting the Mountain West since before let me put it this way. I was playing NCAA 13 the other day, okay? And I looked at Nevada, and I just was like curious of what was happening over there. So I looked it up, and they have not been good for the last 15-ish years. I'm saying the street goes to 12. Go Stangs.
Oh man. Yep. SMU joining the ACC. They are going to be a threat. They are certainly going to be a threat. I cannot wait for when they play teams like Miami, teams like Boston College later in the year. I think that'll be fun. You know, we mentioned Boston College won the bowl game last year. Let's not forget SMU did play majority of their backups. So we will see. But I'm going to also pick SMU. Go Mustangs, clean across the board here. Really, the week 0 game to bring up is Florida State and Georgia Tech. But this is probably the second most appetizing game on the schedule. There's not a whole lot really going on. I know Hawaii is also playing.
They're playing Delaware State at midnight.
Yeah, at midnight. I saw that game was starting at midnight. So I will not be watching. But I mean, if you wanted to stay up until 3:30 in the morning and you had nothing to do on a Sunday morning, maybe what the hell? Maybe you do want to stay up and watch that.
I might check it out, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
I'm kind of excited for some of these games. I mean, Kansas has a pretty good game against Lindenwood at home at 8 p.m. on a Thursday night. So I'll be watching that. Whatever. But rock chalk, baby, rock chalk.
Rock chalk.
Oh, God. On to our next category of topics here. Our ceiling, our floor, our actual predictions for our 3 teams on the air. We're going to begin things off with the team that, let's not kid ourselves, will likely have the best season of the bunch. Drew's laughing. Drew thinks South Florida is somehow going to have a better record than Florida.
Oh, they definitely will.
I don't know.
100% will.
Lennon, let's go through game by game what you think our actual record's going to be, and then what do you think their ceiling and floor will be.
First of all, whoever made the schedule after the bye week can go to hell. This is ridiculous. Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State, back to back is absolutely insane. That's going to be rough. Everything above till Georgia is a very winnable game for us. Personally, ceiling, I would say, is 9-3, but that's not going to happen. Floor would be 1-11 because we're only beating
there. Yep, there it is. Well,
I do.
Let me say this. The way Florida's been playing, I think you want to move that down to 0-12 because Sanford's been looking great recently, and Florida is on the decline with Billy Napier at the helm. So this just lower the expectations a lot here.
Yeah, I'm being generous here. I think we go 8-4. We lose. I was losing to Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, and LSU. I think every other game we can win. Miami, we're going to win. Stanford, we're going to win. A&M, we're going to win. Mississippi State, we're going to win. UCF, we're going to win. I think we dropped Tennessee. I think we finally beat Kentucky. We don't beat Georgia. We don't beat Texas. We don't beat LSU. And we beat Ole Miss and beat Florida State.
I think Ole Miss and Florida State are such toss-ups. I think even Miami at this point is a flip of a coin. I would not be shocked if Texas A&M gives Florida a run for their money.
If we weren't
the only guaranteed wins I give is Sanford and UCF, right out of the gate. Probably Mississippi State too.
Yeah.
Kentucky, they're in luck because Kentucky is a home game for Florida. Last year when they lost to the Wildcats, it was on the road. This year they're going to be at home. Same thing with LSU. That game's going to be at home as well.
Listen, bro, we have not beat LSU since 2018, and I'm saying we're going to lose again.
Let me say this one more time. Lennon, are you sure that orange shirt isn't bringing orange dye into your brain in destroying every bit of it because 8-4 is an absolute national championship team for you right now.
Dude,
If you had Tim Tebow at the helm, you're going 7-5 at the best. Ole Miss is beating the shit out of you. FSU is beating the shit out of you. Mississippi State is putting 42 on you. This is the worst prediction I've ever seen. I hope this gets posted. I really do.
Okay, I will say the shirt's a little tight, so that could be causing a little problems. But dude, you don't follow the team like I do. I'm not confident in the coach, but I'm confident in the players we have.
All I'm going to say is Florida ranked top 5 in the recruiting class this year. I know that only goes a long way, and they didn't do a crazy amount in the transfer portal, but I don't know.
If we go 8-4 with that schedule, we deserve to be in the top 12. I'm sorry. That's like, come on. Like, this schedule's ridiculous, dude.
If you're 8-4 in the top 12, USF's number 2 in the country. Okay? That's the only way that's gonna happen, okay?
Yeah, USF 12-0, baby. Come on, let's go.
Yep. There it is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's gonna be a rough season. But I'll be at every home
I
game.
just went through the schedule. I unfortunately have Florida going 5-7.
All right. That's all right. That happens, bro. We good.
Drew. Well, you're having a laugh. Go on.
Okay.
Go on. You're losing to Alabama. You're losing
to
Tulane.
Let me explain my schedule.
To
Miami. Losing to Tulane. You lose to Memphis.
You got destroyed by the Owls last year.
Hey. Okay. Let me go through our schedule here. USF is beating the shit out of Bethune-Cookman by at least 42. Okay.
That's fair.
We are going to Tuscaloosa and beating the 1-0 Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay. The Bama train has fallen. Saban's gone. It's the time of the Bulls. Okay. Then we will go to Mississippi. And not only will we beat Southern Miss, we will destroy them. Okay? All right.
3-0 is crazy.
Coming back down to earth, we're going to lose.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
At home. Okay, we're going to lose to Miami. We're going to beat Tulane. Okay? We're going to beat Tulane. We're going to lose to Memphis. We're going to beat UAB. We're going to beat FAU. FAU's garbage. Okay? Garbahe. Hot Garbahe. Okay? Navy's going to get shit on. I love the U.S. Navy. Praise everything.
Go Army.
Yes. We're going to beat the living shit out of Charlotte, Tulsa, and Rice. So, my ceiling is going to be 11-2.
Okay. Pretty big ceiling. All right.
My floor. Okay. Our floor is going to be 6-6.
That's fair.
That's
and
fair.
Our actual is going to be 9-3.
Okay.
Or 8-4. 9-3, 8-4.
I don't see how you would beat Alabama and then lose to a school like that.
I'm with him on this one. I believe in USF with my whole heart.
I'll be cheering for him. Don't get me wrong. I'll be cheering for him.
DeBoer is overrated. He sucks. He's a fluke. Bring back
the coach
Saban.
who took Washington to the national championship last year and led a
You have Michael Penix Jr.
Heisman finalist.
And Roma Dunze. Like, come on.
True.
And you don't think Jalen Milroe's gonna perform half as well as he did last year?
We had 9 sacks against fucking Bama last year.
USF should have won.
The score was 14-3. 17-3. I apologize.
You,
But
South Florida should have won that game last year.
yeah,
Easy.
they should.
Easy. But Bama is Bama, and they're still going to come out playing tough because they get the best players because their name is Alabama. We all know this is true. So, yeah, Saban not being there is going to set them back a little bit, but they're still Alabama.
It's Kalen DeVore season, and Kalen DeVore is done. It's over. It's just not happening.
All right. Okay. We'll see.
Hey, we'll see. That's why we did these predictions. We could go back in freaking December or January and laugh at how bad all
Moving
these
north.
are.
Yeah,
No,
Moving north.
Well, we should have started with South Florida, technically, if we're going, north, but that's all right. We went from Gainesville to Tampa.
I was just going with I was going to say biggest school to least biggest, but Boston College is definitely bigger than South Florida. Anyways, that's not the point. Boston College, listen, brand new head coach, Bill O'Brien. If he led the Houston Texans to as many AFC South titles as he did, surely he's got to be somewhat decent going up against other college coaches, right? I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this Boston College team. They still have Thomas Castellanos, who is a good quarterback, but he just needs to work on his accuracy. That is still, we're heading into year 3. He's still not the most accurate passer in the world. He's great with his feet. He's great with throwing on the run, but really outside of that, I don't know. He's really not the best quarterback you could have. Offensive line took a hit. Obviously, they've been without Zay Flowers for a little bit now. We still don't really have a receiver that has been that type of caliber since he left. They lost Elijah Jones, their best player in the secondary. He was drafted by the Cardinals. So this is going to be a weird year for BC. I would love to say, oh, we're going in Monday night prime time. We're beating Florida State. That's not going to happen. I want it to happen. I think
You
it'll
know
be
you're
close.
corrupt when you play Florida State on a Monday night.
You're cooked. If LSU can't beat Florida State on Monday night, how is Boston College? Cooked. 0-1. Start off, let's see here. 1-1. 2-2. I think Missouri's a loss. Michigan State's a win. 3-2 win against Western Kentucky. Virginia and Virginia Tech are both toss-ups. They probably split those. Go 4-3. Beat Louisville 5-3. That'll be a very tight game. Lose to Syracuse, SMU, North Carolina, and beat Pittsburgh. That is a record of 6-6, which would pretty much just be like last year. 6-6, and they're probably playing in the Fenway Bowl. I think the ceiling for this team is 8-4, but that's a very generous ceiling. I think that Syracuse game is a toss-up. I also think, if they beat both Virginia and Virginia Tech, that's probably how they get there. Florida State and Missouri are the two guaranteed losses. I think North Carolina is going to also be a loss. SMU, like I said, they're going to be playing their starters this time around, so it won't be as easy for them. And I think a ceiling, like I said, ceiling is 8-4. Floor would unfortunately be 4-8, but I think this coaching staff is too good for Boston College to go to 4-8.
Well, at least Grant's coming down to a sentence, unlike Lennon. So
at least I'm honest. At the absolute best, they go 8-4, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, at least someone knows how to be realistic.
Am I the most realistic out of the three? Probably the most realistic out of all three of us. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Tripping over my words here. Switching gears now to the SEC. Of course, this was such a big 12 rivalry, and now they're both in the SEC, but Oklahoma, Texas, who is going to make the bigger splash in the SEC this season?
This could not be more easy of a question.
Because I think we all have the same answer.
Texas.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em horns,
Hook 'em.
baby. Hook 'em horns.
Hook
Let
'em.
me explain why. There's two words. Sorry, there's 3 words. Sorry, or 3 letters, I should say. NIL. There could not be a more NIL powered school than the Texas Longhorns of Austin. Okay, their money just grows on trees, basically.
The
There,
oil money.
and you know what the SEC cares about? The green grass. Okay, and I just don't see Oklahoma coming even close to Texas in NIL performance, standings, bowl games, Final Four. Like, you can't even come close to where Texas is if you're Oklahoma right now. And frankly, I don't think it will ever happen unless Kyler Murray decides to ascend from the grave that is the Arizona Cardinals. But it's just, I don't see it happening.
I got 3 words too, and it's I hate Oklahoma. So go. I do. I mean, Texas is by far the best out of the 2. I think. I mean, even though Oklahoma won last year, but Texas is a good team. I think Texas's schedule favors them more than Oklahoma's does.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Texas is yeah. If it's down to money, it's the oil money that's in Texas. That's why A&M had the best recruiting class a few years ago, and that's why Texas is. Texas, yeah.
Yep.
Oklahoma, yeah. Texas is go Longhorns. I think that's a fairly easy. I just was curious to see what you guys thought, but yeah, Texas is.
No, I think Texas is too, and I think we're also we haven't even mentioned the fact that Texas has Quinn Ewers, like the Heisman Trophy candidate. He's gonna go insane, and I know Oklahoma won last year, and I know Sooners fans are gonna want to hang their hat onto that, and that's great. It's a rivalry, but at the same time, Texas, especially now with recruiting and transfer portal and athletes in college being able to be paid, I definitely think that Texas has more money and they're going to benefit from that. They also have a slightly more richer football history. I think Texas is also more ready to play teams in the SEC. Like, I think Texas could definitely beat teams like Ole Miss, Florida, for sure.
I'm sure they will,
and I'm sure they're going to dominate.
Yeah.
They only their only loss was to Oklahoma and Washington, right? That was their only
Yeah.
2 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wouldn't shock me if
Washington
they only
went on
lose
to
2 games
be
again this year.
yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. And I don't think Oklahoma's going to be terrible by any means, but just
compared to Texas, I think Texas will make the bigger splash, if you will.
For sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, as we mentioned before, transfer portal, this offseason is probably the biggest it's ever been thus far, and it's only going to get bigger as the years go on here. But a lot of names have moved around. Isaiah Bond transferred to Texas, going from Alabama. We had Riley Leonard going from Duke to Notre Dame. We had another quarterback. We had multiple quarterbacks move around. Cam Ward went from Washington State to Miami. Will Howard from Kansas State to Ohio State. What do you guys think? And of course, the big one, Dylan Gabriel going from Oklahoma to Oregon. But what do you guys think is going to make the biggest impact throughout the transfer portal?
I'm gonna have to say Riley Leonard. Just for what he did at Duke and just trying to really transform that program around, I think he's gonna carry that over to Notre Dame, and I think they come out of their first game or their first 3-4 games with W's.
All right, Lennon, who do you think?
Gee. Well, since I've been in left field all episode, I might as well try again. Right. So let's personally, I think it's going to be Max Johnson from A&M to North Carolina. He was okay at A&M, but he wasn't very good. But I do think a change of scenery can help him, and I think that he will do better against ACC opponents than SEC opponents. His season stats that he threw for 1452, 9 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and a QBR of 63.6 last year. So not terrible, but not good either. But North Carolina lost Drake May. I think Max Johnson's going to be not a good replacement, but good enough to where I think he'll make his name known this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with one that I'm glad you two didn't mention him. I think realistically, Dylan Gabriel probably has the best, but I love that we are coming up with different answers. And here's one that I think everyone forgot about. Kyle McCord to Syracuse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he was a baller at Ohio State. He was
really
not
good.
afraid to throw the ball. 24 touchdowns, 6 picks, over 3,000 yards. And Syracuse has always had a strong defense the last couple seasons. They've had really strong defenses. They've had all right offenses, a pretty good running game, normally above average. But now you have a developed quarterback heading into a senior year that can bump it up, make them a contender. Not saying that's going to happen, but for Syracuse, if they win 7 or 8 games, it's a successful season for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I mean and like I said, he went from the Big Ten to the ACC. So again, that
That's
level
going to
of
help
competition
drastically
goes up.
change in competition. Much worse
Yeah.
than the ACC, so that's good for him.
Yeah, good for him. I was surprised, but good for him.
I mean, you can't really be surprised about it when you just when you really think about it. I mean, he had a good year last year, but he's probably going to transfer over this year. I think he's having a good year.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
All right.
transfers.
Well, moving on. This is going to be a fun one. And our last topics of the day. Way too early Heisman Trophy winner and national championship matchup and prediction. I want to go with the Heisman Trophy winner first.
Okay.
And I'm curious what you two are going to say. I think I know who Drew's going to say. And I think Lennon's going to go with a very risky take. And I know who I got. I got one that's a little bit out of left field, but it's not out of this world.
You did not guess correctly to mine, actually.
No?
And I don't think
you were going to say yours. Who'd you say, Drew?
I am going to say Jackson Dart. He's going to have a fantastic year, especially against Florida Gators. He might put up, I think, 400 against them, maybe 5. I don't know, but he's gonna have a good year. He's gonna pass for over 5,000 yards. He's gonna run for another 1,000. So, yeah, he's gonna have a good year.
Yeah. See, he kind of took my pick there, so I wasn't really prepared for that.
I'm not going to lie. We all have Jackson Dart.
I was going to be. I had Jackson Dart, yeah.
I had Jackson Dart. You know what? This is good, though. Thank you, Drew, for saying all of our predictions, apparently. Oh, my God. I thought I was out in left field picking Jackson Dart. I guess not.
Turn down your brightness, Nonan.
Oh, well, hey, do we have others? Hey, I got backup.
Oh.
I did not pick a backup.
What is that I hear?
Oh, God, here we go. So,
do I hear a reincarnation of this man?
Jesus
Do I hear a reincarnation?
Isn't that Quentin Flowers?
Yes.
Quentin. Fucking.
That's Cincinnati Bengals legend Quentin Flowers, who didn't even make it off the practice squad.
Yeah. Drew, I think Drew sleeps with that bobblehead sometimes. Yes, he likes that.
Before being honest here, I do think Byron Brown is going to have a very, very good year. He's going to pass for another 3,000, maybe rush for another 1,000. But I do not think he will. I think he'll be on the short list of Heisman candidates. But if I'm really being honest here, I'm gonna have to go with Ollie Gordon the second, because when you rush for 1,700 yards, you just have to be on that list.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we all said Jackson Dart. That's funny. I didn't put. I'll say it. Quinn Ewers. I mean, he's got to be on the list at some point. I mean, I think, I know it's probably the most common pick right now, but he's got to be up. He's got to be in the conversation. But honestly, I think Jackson Dart's going to win it pretty easily, if we're being honest.
I think Quinn Ewers is a good one. Arm strength, pocket composure. It's all good. It's all right there. And we all picked Jackson Dart. Just curious, why did you two pick Jackson Dart? I picked him because I just think he's slightly improved in statistics every year. And I think now Ole Miss is ready to go. They have a running back who they picked up out of the transfer portal who's supposedly out of this world. And I think he's going to really help out that offense a lot. And I would not be shocked if Ole Miss makes a deep run into the 12-team playoffs.
I picked Jackson Dart because the touchdown to interception ratio is incredible. 23 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. That's incredible. He passed for 3,000 yards. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I was probably about the same guys. I mean, Kiffin has the Rebels ready to go. They lost to Alabama, and they lost to Georgia this year. But both Bama and Georgia, I think, they're going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be as good as they have been. So I think that if there was ever a year for Ole Miss to win the SEC, it's this year. I'm being honestly with you. I mean, Jackson Dart's just amazing. Like, I love watching him play. I get to see him in person in November, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that. But hopefully he doesn't embarrass the Gators on senior night. But I mean, he's got. I mean, yeah, probably. Oh, but he's just amazing, dude. Like, I mean, he's got to be top 3 quarterback going into this season, easy.
Okay. Like I said, my original prediction was also Jackson Dart, but I will come up with a pick, and I think for whatever reason you two are gonna flame me for this prediction. But guys, no, he's a traitor.
Yeah, fuck him.
This was a man who threw 25 touchdowns to 2 interceptions last year.
Fair enough.
Penn State quarterback Drew Aller. I think he's got a shot. I think Penn State, they're going to be ranked high. He's going to be in the conversation. And I think if, he's not going to outduel or have more passing yards than someone like Quinn Ewers, Jackson Dart, or maybe be as explosive as a Jalen Milroe. But if he can keep the turnovers limited, I think it's going to benefit him. Again, not my pick. That is my, secondary pick after Jackson Dart. Well, I don't know. Do you guys think, or am I crazy for thinking that?
I don't think you're crazy.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you who isn't going to have a Heisman winner. The Ohio State Buckeyes. Nope, not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Ohio State's going to have a down year. They go 9-3.
That's a hot take.
That's really funny because I kind of disagree, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Indeed.
Get into that, I guess, next week when Ohio State's playing, and we can preview up, and I guess for some of the bigger schools too. This week I wanted to focus on our teams, but next week is when we can focus on the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Clemsons, the bigger schools, and we can kind of see how they do throughout the year as well. And speaking of Clemson, I don't think they're going to be that great.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Clemson's gonna blow.
Moving on to national championship matchup time. I have a funny one for this one.
Oh God.
Uh, you want me to go first, or
Go ahead.
I think there's a damn good possibility it's going to be Texas versus Oregon.
Okay.
Ooh. No, like you're crazy, you're out of your mind. Here's why, because like I said, Dylan Gabriel, realistically, he's probably going to have the best like transfer portal pickup across college football. And you know, going from Justin Herbert to Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel, I mean, you're not really downgrading that much. The quarterback room is still there. Now, I know Oregon lost a couple of receivers in the draft, but they are very good in the recruiting game, and their defense, for the most part, has stayed the same. And for the most part, their D line is pretty good. They averaged a lot of pressure last year, and they look good against quarterbacks like Michael Penix and whatnot. So I don't know. I think now that Washington, realistically, losing their head coach and quarterback, they're going to fall down to earth a little bit. So now I think it's time for Oregon to shine. They somehow make it, whether they be teams like Georgia or Alabama on the way there for the college football playoff. I think they will be there in Texas. It's kind of like the favorite. Like, they didn't lose anyone drastic. I know they lost Byron Murphy and a couple other pieces, but for the most part, they lost their tight end, their running back. But, you
Their
know,
star wide receiver.
their star wide receiver, Xavier Worthy, did go, but then they replaced him with Bond. So I don't think they're going to take that much of a drop off. They still have Quinn Ewers there, and that's the main thing. I'm going to say right now, Oregon beats Texas 31-28 in the national championship. I'll go with Oregon beating Texas.
All right.
Well, looking at the rankings here, I have to point out Colorado has 1 vote in the AP poll. Whoever had that 1 vote needs to be revoked of their.
I completely agree. You notice how we didn't even mention Colorado this episode?
Good. They don't deserve
There's no reason to. We're not like other media outlets who are just going to shove Deion Sanders in your face. And become good. Talk about him.
Honestly, I think that 1 vote was Deion Sanders. Honestly, if we're being real here, he probably snuck it in there.
But moving on to my pick, mine's a little spicy. I'm gonna go with the Oregon Ducks. Okay.
Okay. Oregon Ducks.
Okay. The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ooh, I like that. You know, I know we're all in the Jackson Dart hype train. Why not make the national championship? Why not?
Yep.
That's actually hilarious because I I have Ohio State, Oregon.
So we all have Oregon.
We all have Oregon.
Different matchups: Texas, Ole Miss, or Ohio State. You said?
Yes.
Wow. And you think Ohio State's going to have a bad year, Drew? I think they're going to be all right. I think they're going to go like 1 or 2 losses at most.
I think the Buckeyes are going to have a great year. I hate them. I hope they have a bad year, but just from the research I've done, I think they're going to be pretty good this year. And we all have Oregon. That's hilarious. I wasn't expecting. I thought I was crazy picking Oregon, but I guess not.
My God, we're all picking Jackson Dart. We're all picking Oregon. What the hell?
This wasn't planned, by the way. We all did this separately.
No, hey, maybe moving forward, we should kind of know ahead of time what we're picking or whatever. I hate to throw you on the. I had Drew Waller as my backup for the Heisman, so
I did not have
you
a
had to
backup
go pick
for
for
Heisman,
someone,
so
London.
I had to. I do have Ohio State winning that game just based off championship experience.
Oh, okay.
But I think
so you have Ohio State beating Oregon, and for Ole Miss Oregon, who do you have, Drew?
Go Rebs. I'm saying it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be 28-31 Rebs.
that would be a damn good national championship game.
Dude,
honestly,
I don't think with any of our 3, I don't think you could really go wrong.
no.
Yeah.
I think either way, it's cinema. You're getting a good game.
Let
I'm
me
going to
say
be
that.
honest. I just hope it's not like last year. We knew after the Rose Bowl last year between Michigan and Alabama, we kind of knew that was like the
Well,
national
the 12,
championship game. With
well, the
all due
12
respect
team,
to Washington, they got
yeah,
blown out.
yeah. Well, the 12-team playoff, I think, is going to make this a hell of a lot because you could have an underdog team run like a 12-team playing a one seed, or it'll be interesting to
Imagine
see how
if a
they.
team like Liberty makes the playoffs and just goes on like a Final Four run or
I
something.
will
This
be
this brings
so
like the
mad.
March Madness feel to
Yeah,
college football. That's what I like about
yes.
the 12-team
Mhm.
I
playoff.
love the 12-team playoff. I hate if Liberty gets in. I cannot stand that university.
Yeah, I love the flame.
Why?
Go flame.
Why?
Yeah.
The university is brutal.
Well, it's a private Christian college in Virginia, so
Yeah, exactly my point. But
Nice.
moving on to what one of my favorite things to talk about, the biggest risers. I'm gonna say Kennesaw State is gonna be up there as a team that I think is gonna go 5-7 in their first year in one AA. I think they're gonna go 5-7 and have a great year.
I'm gonna go with the team that I think is gonna be a sleeper. I think NC State has to be in conversation. They come into this year ranked 24th, and they still have one of the best defenses in the nation. So don't be shocked if NC State, continues to play well. I think that's a team that can put teams like North Carolina and whatnot to the edge. They have before and they can again. Nothing much has really changed over there. Their linebacking core has changed a little bit, but for the most part, I think that roster has primarily stayed intact. They didn't have an awful season last year, not a great one, but I definitely expect them to be in a bigger bowl game this season.
Oh yeah, for sure. Lennon, who you got?
This is hard because I don't really. Yeah. I mean, I've been in left field all day, so like, why not? No,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm going to say Texas A&M. Now I know that's kind of because they're ranked 20th, but they haven't really been like a powerhouse, like competing for national championships. But I think they can. Their first game is against Notre Dame at home, so that's going to be an interesting game. They have a really tough schedule. They play Texas at the end of the year. I'm glad that rivalry's back. That's going to be great. But I think Texas. What did they go last year? Do we know what A&M was last year? Like they did.
They
Like
were
6
like,
and 6, I think, right?
yeah, they kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Texas A&M went. Oh my gosh, why is their athletics page a marathon to go through here?
I want to say like 6 and 6 or 7 and
I want to
5.
say it was like 6-6 or 7-5, something
Yeah,
like that. I
something
know they
like
were
that.
losing a lot of games near the end of the year.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna be pretty sleeper in the SEC this year. So something to keep an eye on. I'd say the
Yeah.
They're kind of like a team that can like upset you at any time, and they'll always play you close. Like I'm just looking at them right now. They lost one possession games at the end of the year. They lost quite a bit of one possession games to some top teams. Oklahoma State, LSU, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Alabama. They lost all those games by one possession, and all those 5 teams I mentioned were ranked by the end of the year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, A&M's been kind of trying to get back. I mean, they haven't had a good year since Johnny Manziel was there, but I think they're gonna have something to keep an eye on in this new aligned SEC. It's gonna be interesting. I think don't sleep on the Aggies. They're gonna
For sure.
They might sneak up on you.
Well, this was a great first episode, guys.
I think so. This was a lot of fun. We're back. I know we're filming this on a Monday afternoon. When me and Lennon are back in college, Drew, why are you still in high school, dude?
Yeah, come on, bro.
We
You
gotta,
gotta
like-
get out of here.
You're messing up our schedule. But anyways, we'll be back next week where we'll be recapping Florida State, Georgia Tech. We'll be giving a quick recap of that before we head into our official week 1 predictions. Again, this is where we'll talk more in depth about teams now that we'll have everyone playing. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And just glad we're able to start it on time. And we started this at week 0. I was tempted to skip this week, but hey, this was a great first episode, and it's kind of like it's good to get that introduction episode out of the way because next week it's going to be straight into a lot of games, a lot of new players.
Yeah, straight through January, baby. Let's go.
Straight through January. Hopefully, we'll have a weekly podcast for you all. And again, Instagram is in the description. We're gonna have a lot of fun clips to show this week.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
boy.
listen, if
Drew
Georgia Tech
made fun
loses,
of
if Georgia Tech loses, y'all can clip me hard. I want to give my full, so you guys can go ahead and do that. You can clip it now if you want to.
Oh no, I'm getting all this pre-recorded, and I'm going to be posting this throughout the week and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not we film on Monday. Everything's posted by Monday night. I'm probably posting our first clip tonight or tomorrow, straight through Saturday, pretty much. Also on the Instagram, I'm going to be trying to post as many highlights as I can during Saturday game days. We'll all kind of look for highlights to post.
Yeah.
On Saturdays, and then once the off season comes around, we probably won't be filming a podcast, but we will be keeping the Instagram alive, whether that's keeping you updated with the transfer portal, NFL draft news, coaches hired, fired, stuff like that. The Instagram page will still be going on throughout the off season. Now, that is not until the 3rd week of January. We got a long season ahead. We ain't got time to talk about no off season.
Nope.
We just started, man. Come on.
This Saturday, 12 o'clock, Florida State versus Georgia Tech. Ladies and gentlemen, college football is back, and so is Campus Gridiron. See you guys next week.
Thank you all for watching.